And boom.
I was just laughing what you said to Mickey. It's we have a text going on, and she's looking for Keanu Reeves or however you say it.
Keanu, yeah.
So, that was in our
text. Nobody puts baby in a corner, right?
That's right. Nobody. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Oh my goodness. Sorry we're late, everyone. Yeah, well.
It's Wednesday and we work. Deal with
it. Right. You know. But we had to have a discussion about things that we hate talking about. And unfortunately, you know, there's people out there that just like to talk and make up things as they go along. And we were just discussing it and laughing about it. I'm very sorry. We were laughing about it. And
they're jokes to us. That's all they are.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's it. But if I do find Keanu Reeves or someone,
Patrick Swayze's who I said I was going for.
Well, you'll have to wait on him.
Brandi, we know who you request. That guy that you sent me the other day. Thank you, Kelly.
Hey, thanks, Kelly.
The guy that you sent me the other day. What's his name?
Oh gosh, his name's Chris something or other. Gosh, I wish I'd memorized his name because now I see him all the time.
Right.
Chris
I know
Hemsworth?
me too. He's on TikTok or Facebook.
TikTok and Facebook. Yeah, he rolls across my reels every now and again. And, you know, he was just a very handsome, nice to look at man. I'm just sorry. He was just nice to look at.
Wait, time out. 2 years ago in Alabama, you said that same thing about certain cops that came into the Waffle House, all right?
I don't remember that, Randy. Where was I?
I do. I was the only one that wasn't drunk that night, remember?
You weren't the only one, Randy. Now, come on now.
Well, that's true. We were drinking that night. We were drinking that night.
I do admire a handsome looking man. I'm sorry. It's not like I'm going to talk to him or give him my phone number or try anything else. It's just,
you know what though? Here's the thing. Okay. I don't care if you've been married 50 freaking years or you just married or you're single. If somebody nice and attractive walks by you, you're going to look.
Like Keanu Reeves.
Male or female. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I'm gonna look.
There's nothing wrong with it. That doesn't mean your significant other is leaving you.
You know as well as I do. Thanks, Mickey.
Thanks, Mickey.
And you know as well.
For Keanu,
we're not finding Keanu. I'm going after Patrick Swayze for you. You want him better. Keanu's got this one lady that he hangs out with.
I think she wants one that's breathing, Randy.
Oh.
Right.
Well, he could become a certain, maybe an incubus type thing. I don't know. It could work.
Oh, that's just not right now.
It just hit me. I was like, hey, he could actually do that.
Yeah, no, she really wants one living and breathing. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, and I personally, I asked for either Brad Pitt because I've always had a thing for him for like 5 years, or Matthew McConaughey. He's like a close second.
Yeah,
it is cool to talk to too. If you ever get a chance to actually meet the guy, he's really cool to talk to. He really is.
So you have talked to him?
Yeah, I mean, he actually, my daughter went to my daughter went to UT, and like he was actually teaching a class. He had several classes down there on the drama side for a while. He was an adjunct professor down there.
Oh,
I think he still is actually, and he owns. There's a ranch probably about 200 miles from here, going toward West Texas. He owns down south of here, that is like thousands of acres. Him and his whole family, because he's got a brother named Rooster that is just, those guys are into cattle. They were big into cattle. So
I had no idea. I learned to like cows.
Yeah, I just need to find that class.
Right.
On commute.
Why do we keep talking about guys? I mean, come on. I always had the thing. My thing was Bonnie Tyler growing up. All right. Bonnie Tyler was like the greatest looking woman in the world. Her and Laura Branigan, that is.
Okay, what's that song she sings?
Total Eclipse of the Heart.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm looking in here, and we've got there's George Clooney, there's Mila Kunis. Who else? There's more. I've missed them.
Oh yeah.
More
Brad Pitt. Yeah.
See, I don't like the modern day Brad Pitt. I like the Legends of the Fall.
Yes, that was his best movie by far.
Hell yeah.
See, and I always liked, I don't know. I mean, I went after like the voices. I always loved voices and the way they spoke. Kind of like Sean Connery was one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he
And
just
Sam Elliott, huh?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, Sam Elliott. You know, just listen to them talk, and I'm like, I could listen to you talk all day.
Yep.
That's
Oh,
it. That's
gosh.
it. A nice voice is my love language. I'm sorry.
Right.
Keep your mouth shut. Not gonna say another word.
Now come on, Randy.
Yeah, Randy doesn't know what to do.
I don't ever do
2 women
shows with
against
just you two.
I know.
This is usually Rob's forte
Brandy's
right here.
the
Okay.
oddball. It's usually Brandi and all men.
I know. And tonight there's 2 women against Randy. Randy's like, oh man, I'm in trouble. I am
Wait a
in
second.
trouble.
Let me think about this for a minute. I have married for 33 years and I have 5 daughters. Y'all don't hold a candle, okay?
Yeah.
He got that. See, you got that love language, whatever it is.
Yep.
You and your wife have it, and you know.
No. We have hallway sex now. We pass each other and it's like, F you, no F you, and we keep on rolling.
That's what I mean. That's your love language, and that's cool. That's cool.
Now it's like, will you please get away from me? Yeah, okay, got it.
It's a love language. I'm telling you. It's all right. It's okay, Randy.
The fact that I know to get away from her when she tells me, yeah, I learned that a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Just embrace it, Randy. Quit trying to deny it. 33 years. 33 years is a good long time.
Ooh,
Here's
Tom
another
Selleck.
one. Amanda says Tom Selleck.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, come on now.
He
There's
was
a lot of
pretty
young
good
women
back
now.
in the day.
Yeah.
There's a lot of young women now that would probably just about die for him right now.
See, it's that voice though, like Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey has got that voice where I'm like,
got that. Oh my goodness, boys.
that voice. You're just like, yeah, just keep talking.
Yep.
Just keep talking.
You know, what's really bad is when y'all say that, I hear the voice of him on Family Guy, and all I think about is, oh, they want to kill him every time he's on Family Guy.
Yeah. See,
all right.
See, it's just
this
one
is
of them
funny.
things.
Look at this here. Look what Michelle says. My grandma had a nude picture of Burt Reynolds in her bathroom.
Yeah.
Which I know he did do.
He did do Playgirl.
He did.
Yep. That's hilarious, though. That's our grandma had it in her bathroom.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, my mother, 82-year-old mother, if Dirty Dancing comes on, the world stops, okay? Everything stops until she gets to watch it. She won't care so much about ghosts, but Dirty Dancing, we ain't doing
everybody shut up in the house. Just
exactly. My God.
I love that, though. I love that.
Lil Patty says, Randy, do you know total clips of the heart is about vampires making love?
I don't know about that, but I do know the video, and it's probably one of those that should have been banned on MTV back in the day because she does do a little bit of revealing kind of dances type thing. It just, but either way, what got me with that was she performed it. Well, when she performed it on Solid Gold, the old Solid Gold show that was back in the 80s, early 80s and stuff, she performed it in dark black leather outfit.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, I mean, if they can ban Olivia Newton-John for "Let's Get Physical,"
that
was ridiculous.
That
was ridiculous. Why not? Well, they should have banned her.
Yeah,
they should have.
Did they really ban Olivia Newton-John?
Yes, they did.
Yes, they
MTV
did.
banned it. And see, Mickey, we blame you.
Yep, it's all Mickey's fault.
That's right.
But yeah,
that's right.
I couldn't believe that. Everybody knew, listened to that song, they knew it was about working out. Yeah. If you listen to Physical, listen to it. It is about working out. It's about the you know, the jazzercise / aerobics craze.
It's not about getting adult kind of physical.
And she literally she tortured herself. I was watching the biography on her. She tortured herself for years, thinking it was the way she sung the song is what caused that. And I'm like, no, it's just somebody being, I hate to say it like this, I don't want to be a-holes. I'm trying to censor myself because I'm on y'all's channel right now, but being a-hole.
Yep. Wow.
Drives me insane.
Well, Michelle brought up Farrah Fawcett.
Yes.
Remember, all the boys had that one picture.
That one red.
Beautiful hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Fair hair.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
She was really a pretty woman, though. She really was.
A very
Yes,
nice
she
lady,
was.
too. She was, when she was on, when she was on the set for The Burning Bed, she brought people in, the domestic abuse,
Yes.
not the advocates, but survivors.
Yes.
She had brought them onto the set and stuff and used them as extras in the movie as well.
Wow.
So
That's what I mean. I mean, where did these people go? Where's our role models? I mean, honestly, the ones that we had when we were young, I am depressed and sad for my children. They don't have that to look up to.
Yeah.
And I just don't know what these people are doing nowadays. I mean, look at the whole.
well, yeah, and boys nowadays don't look out there to see them.
Scandal. I'm just going to go with that. The music scene scandal going on, and it's involving so many people are getting into this because everybody's got stories. Everybody's telling on everybody, and I'm like, no.
Hey,
that's not
it isn't like the boys nowadays can look out at that male role model out there and go out and pump up his chest like Bruce Jenner.
Right. Did a male just say something? Not
what?
Randy. Did another male say something?
No.
No.
I just heard. I think I just heard an echo though.
No, it wasn't even an echo. It's 12:52, you guys. 12:52. So remember that.
I'll go back and listen to it.
I think we just got another EVP, not an EVP, but a disembodied voice there, which was kind of strange. Did anybody out there hear it? Let us know in the chat.
Yeah. Yep. Before we start talking about crushes again.
Yeah. It's 12:52.
12:52. All right. I got it marked.
So I honestly didn't hear it, but at the time Jason sent a text and I replied back to him real quick. So
yeah, and I didn't hear it, but like I said, there was one point I sounded like almost like a reverberation echo from mine because I could hear my voice kind of come back over, but that don't mean that was it.
Yeah.
Right. So Denise, little Patty heard it.
Okay. We'll find it. And if it's there, guess what's going to be on Truth or Tinfoil this week?
Right there.
I have it's just girls in my house tonight. So
I only have girls. So
you already know I ain't got nobody but my old man in this house but me.
Maybe that's it.
But I'm in my closet. I have to go in my closet. They banished.
Michelle said she heard something.
All right.
There we go. So before we go any further though, I think we need to pay some bills.
Yep, some bills.
Play some bills.
All right. It's the Crossing Realms Conference. The 19th and 20th of September is going to be held in Richmond, Missouri at the Eagleton Civic Center. You guys get your tickets. Get your tickets because I got to tell you, get your tickets is going to get you into a whole lot of stuff. We now have a social. I'm calling it a social, Krista's what I'm calling it.
No,
We're having
it's
a social.
Texas Secret Party.
It's Texas Secret Party. Forgot. Texas Secret Party, which is our social. It's on Thursday evening. Everybody with a ticket is allowed to come. On Friday night, we have that meet and greet with more speakers. We have, a documentary being shown, popcorn, food, you name it. That's on Friday night, Saturday night. Of course, our ghost hunt is sold out. But we do have an all-day thing going on. I'm sure you know. It's all the speakers, all the vendors. Everything else is going to be on Saturday. So go to Eventbrite under Crossing Realms Conference. Get your tickets. We have an unlimited amount of vendor spaces available. We don't care what you sell as long as it's age appropriate for everyone. And oh, my goodness. It's just.
Yeah, we actually just got another vendor today. Did you see our email, Brandy?
I did not see it today. I worked a very long day. I just got home just a little bit ago. Yep. But there's just so much going on this conference for the minimum amount that it costs. Come. This is going to be the one to come to.
Exactly. And not everybody is even listed on this poster. That's the thing, guys. Like we have, I know Chris Grizzly, he does a podcast. He's coming. We have Charlie Owens is coming. We have D.A. Whitesong. She's coming. Like, there's so many different people coming that's not even listed. So,
right.
Yeah.
And we also have a psychic reading gallery with Mary Lynn Bass, which there's still spots available for that. Oh my gosh, we have the Haunted Museum tours.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry.
Okay, that's again.
We have Haunted Museum tours going on during the day. You know, there's just so much going on, everybody. There's just so much.
Yep. And that's the thing too, you guys have all become friends to us, so we'd love to meet you all. For sure.
Yep. So like I say to everyone, buy yourself a ticket, buy your spouse a ticket, buy your friend a ticket, your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, your children. Buy a ticket.
Yep.
Come on.
Rock on.
Rock on.
And I'm going to toot my own horn again just for spite after I did it on Sunday. You can now listen to all of our shows, the Blondes, the Boos, the Texas, the BMRs, the who else? Who else am I forgetting?
Paranormal Paul.
Paranormal Paul.
Our
Paranormal world.
And all around the world, we are all part of the Misfit
Toys.
Yep.
Looking for us out on Spreaker and out on Apple Podcasts. We're out there ready to go. And Apple Podcasts, we kind of got Tom Franklin, and the Eye of Jupiter. They kind of snuck in because I helped them out trying to keep their stuff out on Apple for them. So,
right, and plus you can catch us anywhere else that podcasts are heard.
Yep.
So,
yep,
they're all out there.
They're all out.
Okay, now bills are paid. Now this is.
Like that one.
Well, we were talking, and Donnie caught. Well, Donnie called, texted us, said, "Hey, I got family coming in, or I got people coming in. I can't make it tonight." And I texted you and said, "You said Donnie's doing what?" I said, "He can't be there." Okay, we'll figure something out. I thought I was going to have a little bit of time in the afternoon to go out and actually find something. Didn't quite work out the way I wanted. So as I screeched to a halt in the driveway and grabbed some corn chowder as I'm coming up to eat and everything, I'm thinking, okay, what can I do? What can I do? First thing comes up and says, "Oh my goodness, what should I show now?" And sure enough, I found her.
We know who that is.
Lizzie Borden, everybody.
Lizzie Borden. And I'm not really thinking so much about the murder side of this versus the house itself. This is where I'm kind of going to the house itself because I'm wanting to go to the haunting side because we could talk about the murders all day and all night. I mean, because you got these guys, they acquitted her. That's her jury right there.
Wow.
Is that it? That look like her peers?
I'm going to ask you guys a question. Okay. So about the jurors. So I see it's an all male because back then that's what it was, right?
Right.
Yep.
However, do you think that they were, hold on really quick. Let me answer this question. Amy says, is the property of the ranch wheelchair accessible? Yes. Where we will be. Yes, it is. You can get in. But no, about the jurors. So, back in the day, do you think that they were fair like they are now or somewhere like biased or I guess my question is maybe like some of them might have knew her or.
Oh, I bet they did because they were all part of upper society, I think.
Maybe she was doing the deed with one of them or something. Who knows? What do you guys think about that being,
I'll let you go first on that one.
Well, in that town, there were a lot of well-to-do people, a lot of well-to-dos. And I don't know, maybe if they cited to the fact is we can't have this type of scandal.
Yeah.
In our town, maybe it was that, or maybe it was they were being fair, that they didn't have enough evidence or anything at that time to say she did it.
And they had no way of forensics to go back and prove anything anyway, like they can now.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
And I was just looking up her dad's worth when he died was $300,000 at that time, which equates to $10 million in 2024 money. Right.
When I went, and I get what you're saying about the money. Now, I have been to the Lizzie Borden house, and it's not big, you all. It's not that big. And I was sitting there thinking about how all of this could have been done.
Yeah.
You know, but I imagine back in that day that there was a lot of land between them and then the next place. And there was a lot of that. And I'm like, I just don't know. I don't know. And I don't think she did it.
You don't think she did it?
I don't think she did it.
And
Really?
see, that's where we differ because I really think she did.
See, I do too.
I think the reason she got acquitted, the main reason she got acquitted, was because of the graphic nature of the murders, the amount of strength that they deemed it needed to be wielding that axe and do the damage it did. You know, they're thinking that she's just a dainty little girl. A woman can't do that. That's exactly the mindset those guys had.
Yeah, little Patty says she don't think she did it either. See, I do, and so does Amanda. Amanda doesn't think that she did it either. I do, because
you know who I think did it. I'm gonna tell you who I think did it. I think the maid did it.
I think she was involved in it.
I do
think
too.
she was involved in it.
I think she knew who did it.
There's no way that level of murder happens in that house without somebody else knowing.
And Brandi, you said that the house was small. So how could they not have heard? Like, you know, if you're going to whack someone, there's some noise to this. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what the maid said. I didn't hear a thing.
Yeah.
You know why?
I'm thinking the maid did it for her. And now I may be wrong on this, but there's a lot of speculation in that. But I think that Lizzie Borden and the maid had a type of relationship. Now, what that entailed, I'll leave it up to you adults to figure that one out.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think there was a little bit of like love interest, or more than a love interest, between the two. And that how Lizzie was treated while she was in that household. I think that she got mad one day, the maid got mad one day and just did admit, because after all that happened, Lizzie just moved right across town. She didn't move out of town. She didn't move anywhere else. She was right across town. And guess what? Who went with her?
Her sister and the maid.
Yeah. So Lil Patty says she heard the maid and Lizzie had an affair. So, and I also heard that there was some sort of abuse by the father towards Lizzie, you know, and I mean, not, and maybe abusive, but you know, I'm talking on the other level, you know?
Yeah. He was not very nice to her.
No,
he wasn't nice to anybody.
Right. So that's why I'm thinking that Lizzie may not have done it.
And I could see that, but the only reason I think it was that way, because quite frankly, I mean, you're talking about, okay, that the maid helped her. I could see the maid helping her, but she was involved still one way or the other.
Oh, she knew. She was in the house. She knew.
I think she took some swings too, because I mean, that's the revenge. I think she had a revenge thing against her father. And if you ever watched the movie with Elizabeth Montgomery playing her, she did a great job. And I don't know how true and accurate it was, but the way she portrayed it, she had a true hatred for her father for some reason.
And I think it was because of the abuse that she endured.
Yeah.
I don't think she liked her mother either. So
no, that stepmother, she didn't like her either. Her mother had passed away 3 years before. So
yeah, but no, the stepmom. I mean, she didn't like her at all. And I'm thinking she knew about it, but I don't think that she actually had anything physical to do with it. She, you know, and the maid knew that.
See, here's the reason why I think that she did. Because, you know, Brandi, you should know this now. All those dang shows that you and I watch.
Oh, gosh, I know. Yeah. I know.
So they say, you know, like they were axed, right? Okay. So something like that is personal. Like there's a lot of hatred there. And that many times to hit someone, you know, there's like, what did he do to the maid? You know what I'm saying? So Lizzie, if she in fact was abused growing up, that's a lot of hatred there. That's why one of the reasons why I think that she participated in the act.
Yeah. And in me, it's kind of like, I think that the maid or her lover or whatever you want to call her had enough one day watching the abuse happen, and she snapped.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why I
very
think
well
the
could
maid
have.
did.
Yeah.
Well, even if she did, I think that the actual jurors, those guys that you looked at right there, the hoity-toity guys, the well-to-dos
Yep.
that were on the jury right there,
Yes.
is still a woman, and a woman is not quote unquote capable of doing what they saw.
Yeah.
They hadn't seen anything like it ever.
Not to that
You
point.
know, I mean, of course, living today, we've seen all kinds of crazy stuff and heinous acts that women criminals do today. So we know that they are capable.
Mhm.
But man,
I mean,
don't know.
honestly, and I'm gonna take their side, not their side, but I'll kind of be devil's advocate here from their point of view. To do the damage that is pictured, and I didn't download the pictures. Everybody's seen those pictures from all the documentaries, all the crime scene photos.
Right.
No reason to put them back up here. But to do the damage that was done there, you have to have a pretty good swing about you. Okay. You have to be able to do something. I mean, because if she was just doing like what they showed in the movies, is that right there, all that had done is just left a bruise and somebody come out swinging, Somebody, they had to put some real power behind it, especially on the first swing. So that leans, like you said, maybe toward the maid, because the maid's gonna be a little bit stronger than her right out the bat.
Do we know how big of a woman that Lizzie Borden was?
Hang on, let's see if I can find it real quick.
I was gonna say I can Google.
I don't think she's a very big woman at all. Yeah, I don't think she was. And see, her sister herself didn't think that she had done it.
Okay. Her passport application says she was 5'3".
If my sister went off like that, I don't know if I'd want to live with her. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna find my own place. Thanks.
I'm looking at one of her passport applications here. 5'3".
Okay.
And let's see if I can find the actual weight. Usually they'll tell you a weight too, but I don't guess they did that back then.
She looks like she might be a little chunky, and by going by the picture.
And this was at age 29 when this was filled out, and it just says 5'3" inches, and it does not give a weight at all.
Yeah, but can you imagine that 29 years old and still living at home?
No.
There is a problem.
Right.
A big one.
Well, yeah, he had the thumb on her. She couldn't have done anything. She was not adept to go out and make anything in the world at that time, especially women out on their own in the world. She was going to be a maid somewhere.
Oh yeah.
So,
but he was well to do. I mean, he had the money and could have afforded her a husband. With I don't know if dowry was still a thing then, but I mean,
it never really had been here in the States, though. Dowries per se.
Not really, but still, it did
still,
happen. But
somebody would think he could marry into that family at least.
Yes, somebody who would want to marry into wealth. You would think that she would have some suitors, that she would have gotten married. But by the age of 29, didn't they consider that like a spinster at that point?
Oh, yeah, you're old maid by then. You're old maid by then. Yeah.
John says 2 women, 2 axes. Maybe so.
That very well could be. That's a good observation, because they only found the one axe, and it was found by the furnace where they know that dress was probably burnt, but they could not really prove it was.
Denise said she was 135 pounds.
Okay. So that's not a big frame. That's not a big frame at all. Okay. No. And her dad, I didn't look him up, but I mean, he wasn't. You see him laying across that. I don't want to say it was a couch; it's more like a love seat, is what it was. And so his legs were kind of off. He just kind of plopped there to take a nap when he obviously got nailed. But
and he was laying down. So I mean, if you're figuring on gravity,
and if she got above him and really got a swing, she could do it.
It wouldn't have taken a man to make contact. It wouldn't have, because of the gravity itself.
And we know that here nowadays, but they didn't know that then.
Well,
honestly,
true.
They would have looked at her and said, no, she couldn't have done it.
It kind of what makes you wonder who cut the firewood.
Exactly. So,
And
anywho,
the question: who cut the firewood? We'll blame them.
True. That's,
sure.
that's true.
But yeah,
you know, with the amount of wounds, you could tell that it was definitely a crime of aggression.
a
Mhm.
That
rage.
Sure.
rage. It
Yep.
was
Yeah.
definitely, you know, meant. It wasn't just a happen by and
Yeah, no.
oh well, they got in my way while I was stealing stuff and hit him all these times
Right.
with an axe. But
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
I got to thinking about that too because we did talk about the axe murder, the axe
Mhm.
the Villisca axe murder house. Okay, and
Yeah.
we talked about the axe murderer there and how strange that was that they used an axe. It
Mhm.
wasn't the best item to use. I mean, because it is kind of awkward.
Yeah. And if
And
you miss, look out.
yeah, exactly, exactly. But this seemed to be the weapon of choice for this serial killer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's just I guess I don't know. I mean,
I don't know.
I don't think I think it was like not planned, but it happened.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think she saw the opportunity, whichever one of them, or they both saw it and said, okay, it's
Yeah.
now or never.
See, I think
was-
it was planned. Only because, like, how do you just say, "Oh, he come in and lay down. Now's my time." I think like they were, like, they had
But
a
they'd
plan.
have never known when he was going to do that, though. That's
Well,
the problem.
That's true. It still, to me, would be like first degree.
They were just waiting, like they were waiting for their time. They're
Right.
like, there's
Yeah.
gonna be a time.
Right. It was
Yeah.
planned that they were going to do it, but waiting on the time. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or he
What
just
felt
come in
right.
and said something really nasty and laid down.
Yeah. And they set him off.
And they said, today's the
I
day.
agree.
Today's the
Married
day.
5 daughters. You say one wrong word and all of them are on you. Okay.
That's
Right,
true.
right.
Yep.
I mean,
But-
I knew that she had this hatred for him. I mean, it was building. I mean, it was, you know, after all the years, you knew it was building, and it was just,
Yep.
it was like they maybe have fantasized about doing it.
Well,
You know
yeah.
what? There's a couple things here to bring up that chat saying.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a male suspect too? And I kind
Yes,
of
there
do.
was. There
I thought
was,
there
but they
was.
could never find him. They could never find the guy because somebody had put word out that there was a transient in the area at the time of the murder, but they never could find.
Wasn't there a family member too, or something that came in and was staying with the Bordens?
Yeah, well, the sister was there too, and they talked about
Somebody from
there was
town man or something.
there was a rumor of a William Borden who was supposedly the old man's illegitimate son.
Oh, gotcha.
That,
Okay,
but I've never seen anything that proved it. I've seen the write-ups on it, but I've never seen anything that ever got proved for it. So
right. Here's another point. Bristol says too, and back then, you know, they didn't have the tests that they can test today. But Bristol says they could have drugged them, and that's true.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good point, Bristol.
Yeah, they wouldn't have been able to tell. I mean, even a little bit of chloroform, they wouldn't have woke up for nothing at
Right.
that time.
So
Right.
interesting.
That would have been easy pickings, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I was reading here too. You know, after the trial and the acquittal and everything, you know, we talked about she moved across town. She moved over to 7 French Street. She named it Maplecroft. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Maple the last name of the maid? I think her last name was Maple, if I'm not mistaken. I have to look it up. It doesn't have the maid's name on here at all that I found so far. But
I don't know.
they
I
changed the
can't
number.
remember.
Well, it's like that 113 Oceanside in Amityville was changed later on.
Yeah.
Well, 92 2nd Street became 230 in 1896 because they figured out, tell you, there's way too many people going to that house trying to figure something out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or we can just go with John's theory and say the dog man did it.
Dogman did it.
Yep.
Yeah.
We can't say that because we don't have the Pope here. The Pope will have to be here to sanction that one.
Yep.
Right. I
Hello,
mean,
the Cryptid Podcast. Thanks for popping in.
Yep.
but I mean, it's just stuff like that. It really is stuff like that you wonder how they got away with it. But then again, when we're talking about, you know, what we dubbed the man from the train, that well-known book, and committed all those murders, and still they were executing people.
Yeah.
Right.
all up and down this railway, and it still wasn't the right person.
No.
Right. That's true. That's true. And you know what's really kind of ironic, and we kind of talked a little bit about this backstage, but the same jerk that owns Villisca owns Lizzie Borden house.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm. The same jerk that fired our friend Johnny Hauser for no reason.
Right.
Yeah. So, and here's the thing too, like for both of those houses, okay, awful things happened in those houses, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the owners, the new owner guy, they are sensationalizing. Do you see like some of the videos, like they mock, like they had a reenactment of the killing at the Lizzie Borden house? Like,
yes,
who does
I
that?
saw that.
Who the freak
Who
does
does that?
Like,
you know what they do it for? They do it for the majority of the bed and breakfast people that stay there because they want to experience something. Why would anybody want to stay there? It's just a boring house in the middle of a residential street, right?
Here's the thing, though. You don't have to do that. If a location is truly haunted, and I believe the Lizzie Borden house is, if it's truly haunted, you don't have to reenact. You don't have to fake. You don't have to.
You just need to stay out of the way and let it happen.
Right.
That's what you need to do. Now, I pulled up a few of the experiences too, the people that had in that house, because there's quite a few that I found out there, especially, well, Reddit's always a good spot for actual personal stories if you're looking for something like that. But this guy said he slept in one of the attic rooms of the house, had a creepy experience overnight, was wondering if anyone else had the experience, but he went to go do screenshots in the room and stuff, and he found little orbs and stuff all over. And you know me and orbs to start with, but he said when he went to lay back down on his bed and got ready, he got jerked out of his bed. Wow. And he wanted to know if anybody else had that same experience. I'm like, well, you were taking pictures. I don't know if he doesn't say he had anything to drink, but how many times have you seen people go to sit down on their bed or lay down on their bed and go completely off onto the floor?
Yeah.
He may not have been on the bed good enough. I don't know.
I've done it.
Yeah. I'll be the first to admit it. I have sat down and it ain't there.
Yep.
I thought I was sitting on it, but it wasn't there. So.
Yeah, you it's not like you were focusing on it. You kind of misjudged where you were standing and just plopped down and it wasn't there.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I mean, there's several of those out there like that, and a lot of them are just the shadow people, the faint voices, typical haunted house stuff, but that could be from anybody along the way, not just them. And quite frankly, I don't know if I really believe that it truly is haunted, because it's so, like you said, sensationalized now. I wouldn't put it past them to have little setups going on.
Right. Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, they've got it set up to where it is strictly in Airbnb, and they'll have tours in between check-in and then they'll a check-out and check-in time. That's when they'll have the tours. Yeah. So they're not holding it as a museum or anything like that. It is basically like that. And out in the back of the property, which is very small, there's not a whole. You can't even really park in there. In the back there's another building out back. Guess what that is?
What's
their
that?
Merchandise store.
Oh. The shop.
Yep. The merchandise store.
Yeah, the gift shop. Yeah. No. Well, another guy had said that the lights flickered, and he said he fell off the bed too, but he did add, I did have 6 gin and tonics beforehand. So.
Oh, well, there you
go. That's funny.
There you go. But, well, that might have had something to do with it.
And, as I was looking at this one, obviously, I was like thinking, okay, well, we're talking about this one. And I thought maybe I originally wanted to go out and do the Stanley. I thought about doing that one. And I was like, no, that one I really want to research more, because that's another one people talk about. But just because Stephen King wrote about it doesn't mean it's actually haunted. I mean, I don't know. I've never been there. I won't know until I go there. But
I didn't notice anything strange there.
Yeah. It looks like just a creepy old hotel, right?
Yeah, that's basically what it is. I mean, they say things happen there.
Yeah.
That's why when I took my daughter, we went to stay at the Crest Hotel. Just because everybody says it's haunted, I'm like, yeah, sure, okay.
But you know what, though? Here's the thing. I think a lot of hotels are because, you know, a lot of negative things do happen, you know, so whether it be residual or intelligent, I do think a lot of hotels are haunted. However, the Stanley, I would absolutely love to go to because I heard the fish tank is haunted and there are ghost fish.
I would like to see that too. Yeah. That's something I've never seen before in my life. And if I could see it, I'd want to.
Yep, me too.
There's no doubt I would do that. I would do that. I mean, who wouldn't want to see ghost fish?
Me, I do.
I just want to go up there in wintertime and be stranded in there like the way he wrote it in the book, you know?
Yeah.
Just leave me alone for a whole winter. Just leave me alone.
But, you know, here's the thing, too. I think Stephen King, you know, had anybody heard about that hotel being haunted before Stephen King stayed there and had his encounters in that room? You know what I'm saying? So...
And he already had a vivid imagination, and he's probably doing a little funny weed too at the same time.
That's my point I'm getting to. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love his stories. I love every one he writes. But like I said, I never even watching the shows on it. People talking about this room, that room, doing this, that. Every time I've watched anybody do investigations, I've never actually seen them truly catch anything either. Doesn't seem like anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I've never been there. I'd like to go though. And
hey, there we go. Hey, Mickey's asking something. You guys in Missouri, what the heck?
Yeah, the Elms. Now, I've heard a lot of crazy things about the Elms. And what's the president? Oh, God, that found out. Truman, that's it. He was at the Elms when he found out he won the presidency.
Yeah, when he beat Dewey.
Mm-hmm. When he found out he won. Yep. And that is actually in Excelsior Springs, Missouri, which is over north of Kansas City.
Gotcha.
Yep. It's actually a hotel of people coming to our conference. It's only about 12 miles away from where we are. However, it's pricey.
Well, yeah, of course it's going to be pricey. They got a how can I put it? They got a reputation to uphold, shall we say?
Yeah.
Much like if anybody goes to Jefferson, Texas for the Bigfoot conference there, and they try to stay in the Jefferson Hotel. They always try to stay there. It's always booked up, but you're going to be paying $200 to $250 a night.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. If not more. Brandi, because I know Brandi, she stayed at the Crescent. You know, like what'd that cost you a night?
I went during the week. Gotcha. So I got a really good deal too, because during the week is not real busy like the weekends. So it cost me like, I think it was $160 a night. Mm-hmm. And that was it wasn't a big room at all. And it was for a king size bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it wasn't horrible. But it is not necessarily.
It's no Motel 6.
Right. Yeah. Right. You know, but I also stayed at the Arlington Hotel in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Mm-hmm. And Arlington is supposed to be where Al Capone used to frequent this hotel quite a bit because of the healing springs and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Al Capone was anywhere from Chicago on down. He kept moving because he never wanted to get caught. And that hotel was extremely weird too. And I also stayed that one in the middle of the week because I don't want to be in there with a lot of people. Because that just kind of like, you can investigate all you want to, but if you got all these people out there, you can't. So I took my daughter there, and it's so funny because I ran across a video the other day. And she was telling me, Mom, I feel something in this room. I feel something in this room. You know, she kept telling me, Mom, you know, whatever. So then she's like, okay, well, I'm tired, Mom. I'm going to bed. I said, okay, I'm going to run downstairs. I'm going to get me some coffee. I'll be right back. So I went downstairs, got my stuff, and I'm coming on. And next thing you know, I come back up, she's sleeping. So I'm setting my coffee down. I got the TV on super, super low, you know, right? But we had set up this thing. It's like a motion. It's a motion detector. It's like vibration. So when you hit it, it's a line, and the whole thing will light up if you hit it, right? So she's sleeping, and this thing starts to blink, and I'm like, "What? Wait, what's happening here?"
What the heck?
So I'm like, okay, fine. And then I'm like, okay, so I unplugged it. Then I plugged it back again and just left it. Started blinking again. I'm like, all right, fine. So I took it out, and then I got a K2 meter, and I just set it over there. I'm like, let's see what's happening over here. Next thing you know, this thing is just batting all the way around. Just boom, boom, boom. And I said, oh my God. So I'm trying to check to find out, okay, it's an old building, so I'm checking all the electrical outlets. I'm checking the light bulbs. I'm checking the switches I'm checking everything in the room, and nothing is going off. So then everything quit. Nothing was happening. And I'm just standing there for like 10 minutes being super quiet because there was literally nobody was booked on this floor. We were right down the hallway from Al Capone's suite, right? Nobody else was booked on the floor but us. And I'm like, okay.
Oopsie.
So I'm looking out in the hallway, and I'm like, okay, there's still nobody here. You can't hear anybody. So then next thing you know, I started getting knocking in the bathroom.
Ooh.
I went over there and I looked in the bathroom and I said, nope, not today. I've got it all on video, folks. I've got the whole thing. I'm like, nope. know, I'm like, this is too weird. And I'm on the floor by myself. My daughter's sleeping and I'm doing everything not to wake her up, right?
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, how can you be sleeping when you tell me this room's haunted all day? There's something in this room and you're sleeping. How dare you? So, I mean, but she loves this stuff, and that's why we do what we do. We usually try to do it once a summer.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know where we're going this year, though.
I like the way that segued into, what I like to call,
Donnie Cho, meme of the week.
Yeah. So we have no Donnie Cho, but we have Donnie Cho. We have Donnie Cho's influence and his aura has come in. Now we like to talk about what we talked about earlier: Texas secret parties.
Texas secret parties.
And we were talking about maybe even starting to call him T Diddy, if I remember right. Anyway, guys, on that Thursday when you get there, get ready. Here you go.
Ain't no party like one of Texas' little secret parties.
You know.
If you know, you know. And ladies and gentlemen, that is our social on Thursday evening, September.
You're more than
18th.
welcome to wear your unicorn and your fox furry thing. If you come dressed as a furry, he'll treat you like a furry. All right.
Hey, wear your pajamas for all I care. Come on, let's go. Come comfortable, everybody.
Oh Lord.
But the way that some certain people make that sound, it's just so totally crazy to me.
Yep.
But anyway, people are people. They will talk and whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah, we do.
That'll do. But I love it. Texas secret parties.
Talk about everybody. I don't care. I talk about Tex all the time behind his back, just for fun, hoping he'd find out.
Yeah,
did you say this about me? You know I did. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Shoot, I'll look him dead in the eyes and say it. Wait for a response.
No, I want to make sure the rumor gets wrapped all the way around before it gets back to him. Then I can find out whether it was real or not.
Exactly. So what did you hear?
Yeah, what'd you hear I said, huh? What'd you hear I said? I may have said it. I may not have said it. You just don't know.
No.
Right.
Anyway. So
but yeah, that is kind of funny, though. I mean, but see,
I got something here. Ron asked this earlier, so I want to throw that out there. Does anything ever happen in Kansas? And I'm just like, oh my Lord, there's so much going on in Kansas. It ain't even funny. Mickey came back to him, and told him about obviously the Sallie House is one of the biggest ones. Actually, Kansas has its own documentary out there about a movie.
And a movie, guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much going on in Kansas.
I didn't
even
start
the town of Atchison itself is haunted.
Yeah.
Everyone, the whole thing,
Haunted.
the whole
That's
place
what-
is haunted.
And that's what this documentary was doing. It did all the folklore of Atchison and even talked about Sallie House. And that's where we talked about that ghost hunting crew that was supposed, the lady was trying to force her way into the new owners of the house at the time or whatever, you know. And the lady's like, "Will you just leave?"
Right.
Can you take a hint, lady? Ron came back and said something about this one. I didn't star this one. I don't know how this one got starred, but yeah.
It's actually not a made up story, Riley. So Sallie really was a little girl there, and it did happen, but she had appendicitis.
Okay.
And she got taken. The doctor lived there in the house, and you know, he lost her. She did pass away. So the story of Sallie, it really is true. However, the story of Sallie still haunts the Sallie House is not true.
Okay.
No.
She moved on.
That whole thing, because Atchison, Kansas is blowing up that there is a little girl in that house. That's not true.
Bull crap.
Yeah. There was never a little girl in that house.
And honestly, it makes me mad what the city of Atchison is doing, because people have gotten hurt being in that house, and they're advertising it as being haunted by a little girl, and that thing could be further from the truth.
Right.
And that therefore putting people at risk. You know, they do these haunted trolley tours through Atchison.
Yeah.
One of them, they
that.
stopped there at the Sallie House. You know, well, you got kids and stuff there. No kids have any business being there. Like, I know someone who had to do an exorcism on a high school kid because all she did was look in the window at the Sallie House. So to me, the city is putting a lot of people at risk.
Because there's something else there that should not be messed with.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, that is so true. That is
now,
so true.
Here's my other question. I know you guys know Tony, the guy that
very well
from the original stuff, and he doesn't live there anymore. Did he move back? I thought he moved away. Did he move back?
Nope. He lives 9 blocks away from the Sallie House as we speak.
So he's back in there then.
Yeah, and he won't drive down that street.
Okay. Yeah.
He never left.
No, I just asked.
He never left Atchison. He was born and raised there. And
okay,
so
I thought that
when
I'd
they
heard
moved out
something
to the
about him
Sallie
moving.
House, they moved into the house they're in now, which is 9 blocks away.
Okay, got it. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you know, that's one of the things when I was watching all the documentaries about that, the Sallie House part, you know, I mean, that the scratches he was getting and stuff, you know, I was like, that's not something that a little child ghost would do to me.
No.
And I've witnessed it firsthand happen to him. And there's nothing fake about it. There's nothing about a little girl there.
No. So there's something else. They're just trying to capitalize on it because Sallie became the famous name for it.
Yep. And Sallie makes some money.
Yeah.
Well, it was all the wife's fault.
Exactly.
Oh.
It was the wife's fault because this thing had appeared to her as Sallie. Okay. So what she was doing is she was gifting and giving this thing
toys,
whatever it wanted. So it just grew in strength.
She didn't know what she was doing, did she?
No.
They had no idea.
No. And in all reality, this thing was a hag.
So like Brandi said, you know, the gifting and things like that, she welcomed it. So basically, what do we always say? The demonic have to be invited in?
Yep. There it is.
Yeah. If you're gifting it, you're inviting it. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So
hey, there's SoCal. Hey, SoCal, we got to talk later. I'm going to be showing your pictures sooner or later. Yeah. I just wanted to be in the actual, you know, audience when we show them on the other show. So.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, that story, I mean, it has morphed. I've heard some versions of the story and I'm like, no.
That didn't happen.
Yeah.
No. Did you read the book at all? Or are you just taking bits and pieces of what you hear? Because it has more
sensationalized stuff.
Yeah. Because some of this is very outlandish, the things that I'm hearing. And maybe that's where, you know, that the story becomes made up is because, you know what? A lot of it is sometimes.
Well, and you know, Brandi can attest to this. some of the stuff in the book, it sounds very outlandish, that these type of things that happened, that Tony actually did this stuff. So, but he did. And it's not nice stuff. The book is very, very vivid, and it is some sick stuff in there. In that book.
I believe it. I mean, because like I said, when I was watching that, and I only watched the 2 or 3 that are made of, because how they're 20 years old now. Honestly, if you want to get right down to it,
for sure.
And you're sitting there looking at
older than that. Shit, Sightings is probably close to 25, 30 years old.
At least, yeah. I mean, because I used to stay up at night to watch Sightings when it came on. I really did, because that was the Saturday night thing. You had Friday night videos on Friday night, and you turn around, you got Saturday night, you got Sightings, and right behind Sightings was Cheaters. Okay, I'm good.
But, actually, on Sightings, the episode of the Sallie House, you do witnessed Tony getting scratched in that house.
Yeah, he was sitting there talking, and he started feeling it, and he lifted up his shirt and showed it was the whelps were coming up, and I knew right then, even then, I was like, wait a second.
Yep.
They don't interact with you like that.
No.
I have witnessed that more than once happen to him, and not even being in the Sallie House. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, so that thing kind of followed him around a little bit too, didn't it?
Well, I think the house had a hold on him, he's woke up in the middle of the night and it was winter, and he was at the Sallie House, no coat, no nothing, in the middle of the night, and he don't even know how he got there. So the house, I think, still has a hold on him. When people go there and they taunt and they torment, like they taunt the entities that's there. To this day, he will still pay for it. He will get jacked up, and he'll tell you, "Oh, somebody's taunting at the Sallie House," like it's no big deal.
Mental note to self: never take Tex there. Okay, never.
No. Nobody has any business being there, and any of my friends or people that I love, I would never want them there. No.
Not until you knew more what was going on. Now, if you're just doing an investigation or something, I'd be sure as heck having every kind of clergy. I don't care if you're Southern Baptist, Catholic, Wiccan, whatever. You're all coming with me, and you're all going to make sure that I'm protected.
Right. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Brandi.
No, I was gonna jump to something else. Finish up what you were gonna say.
I was just going to say that, people who have investigated that house have left there and had car accidents and went home. I know one investigator's wife left him when he got home. I mean, there's horrible stuff that happens to investigators too when they leave.
Right. Little Kay asked that, didn't Paul get scratched at Ray County?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
But I don't think that was actually negative.
What was the time stamp right there? I heard something that time, but I think it was my echo off of somebody. It sounded like my voice in the background. So
it could have been. It could have been. The other one was definitely not you, because it wasn't like an echo of what you had already said.
Yeah, I don't even know if it was that or just I couldn't tell because it was so muffled. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it was an echo or not. So I was making note of the time there. So
yeah,
right. But that first one was that's something you really need to check. But the scratching thing, I kind of have a theory on that, because I don't think that every time everyone gets scratched that it's bad.
Agreed.
I think that we come across spirits sometimes that don't know how to touch without hurting.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like they don't know how to tug on your hair a little bit or whatever. They just all out scratch you. I had a friend who was sitting beside me and was talking about her face burning. And she's like, my face just feels like it's flushed, like it's burning. And I'm looking at it and I'm watching it turn red, but not like a scratch. So I touched her skin and it was ice cold. Just ice cold. So I'm like, it's almost as if something touched her right on her face, but didn't scratch her. But it was so cold. It was almost like she put an ice cube there, and it has that burning feeling before it goes numb. And that's what she was feeling. And I swear it felt like she had an ice cube on her face.
Right.
So I don't necessarily think that it's harmful every time.
No, I don't either.
I mean, I wouldn't like it. But
Well,
I don't think it's like to be mean all the time. I think it's just they don't know how to touch.
yeah, like
I
Pat
get-
Trying to
says
get
right there.
attention.
Trying to get
Exactly.
attention.
Yes.
Exactly. And go ahead.
I was gonna say it was like when we were at the Crest in Alabama where I was
Yeah.
getting pinched.
Yep.
You got
It's like
pinched.
getting
Anita got pinched.
Yeah.
yeah. It was like
Uh-oh.
they're trying to
We
get
have
your attention
company.
and they pinch.
We got company. Wait a second.
We
We
do.
got
Hold up.
company.
Sorry,
We
buddy.
got company.
Oh no, he can't come in here with that LA crap on. Forget that.
Hey, LA needs our help and support. Oh wait, there's Marines there.
They need our prayers and support.
The
Okay.
devil dogs
Anyway,
You just missed our
Well-
conversation on the Sallie House and Tony.
Oh
And
god.
we-
Frankie is another one that knows Tony as well.
When,
So
Yeah.
when Tony
knows
won't
he's
go back,
legit.
it's a problem. So
Yeah.
you know,
Exactly.
and he can
Exactly.
defeat demons. So
there you
Yeah.
go.
nope.
yeah.
And we were just talking to Frankie. Brandy made the comment about we believe that not all when people get scratched that it's all negative. Maybe it's the spirit just trying to get your attention or, not meaning to hurt you. But I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, let me just change my mic real quick. Hold on. That way I hear you.
Oh, he came unprepared. What out?
Whatever.
Once again, it's the LA thing.
How much it is.
There you go.
This is actually a pretty funny hat. My wife's family is from LA, and she was born in 1988, and so they went to the World Series in 1988. So I have an LA
Oh,
1988.
the earthquake year, right?
I believe so. Wasn't
Yeah,
it
the
not
Kirk
88,
Gibson.
87?
Yeah, I think it was '88 when Kirk Gibson hit the home run, and then they had the earthquake as well.
Yeah, that was a hell of a hit.
That was a hell of a damn series, quite frankly.
They're like, yay! Oh.
Yeah. The scratching stuff is interesting. I remember being just one instance with Tony. I maybe go something with Tony, I think 3 times. I think all 3 times, or at least 2 times, was at Pythian.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember him being in the tunnels. So if you haven't been to Pythian, Randy, there's basically a sub basement that goes through a tunnel
Okay.
that used to be used for, like, they say POD, but I think it was a laundry.
Right.
Gotcha.
They might have tied somebody off down there. I don't know. I don't want to say that that's incorrect because God knows somebody will get me on Facebook. Anyway,
Oh yeah, they do that all the time.
Welcome to our world, Frankie.
Why?
man, we're sitting there talking about a convict. I'm like, man, this is not right. And everybody's like all defending the convict. I'm like, what? It's like, what's going on? When I was with Tony in this tunnel, I'm sitting there and he's like, he turns and and you guys know Tony, you know that like he's kind of jovial, salt of the earth, but all of a sudden when it happens, he's a changed person.
Uh-huh.
And he just looked at me and Jeremy. He's like, we got to go. I'm like, what? He's like, we got to go. I'm like, the guests even aren't even here yet. He's like, we got to get out of this tunnel. And so we came up that tunnel and I had my camera going. And this is how crazy it is. I was shooting stuff in the dark and stuff, like just because I have these low light cameras that I'm actually using here. And when we got back up, his chest had just like opened up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what the hell happened? He's like, yeah, there was something really bad down there. And me and Jeremy, I remember being at that table right by the theater. When you kind of walk in, you go down the hallway, there's a table where everybody eats and stuff. I remember looking at my computer, plugging in my camera, and we got this really weird, I wish I still had that picture. I don't know where it is. I know Greg Myers has it, but there's this really weird blue face, and it looked like, I don't know, Jeremy always relates into the guy from Castlevania, like Simon Belmont or something like that. It looks like this really creepy ghoul that was there.
Oh.
And normally I'm like, well, that's weird. But it was just that paranormal blue.
Yeah.
It's like distinguishable.
Mm-hmm.
And then the stuff happening with Tony. And I was like, well, that's for me enough. I know Tony doesn't really want anything to do with the paranormal.
Nope.
I mean, Blumhouse offered him. I mean, I had a deal for him and Deb, and it was pretty substantial. They really wanted him to do this show for the re-release. Well, it's not a re-release. It's the part 2 of the Exorcist movie that they had done.
Gotcha.
And no,
That remake that they had done.
Oh, it was awful.
Yeah, I know, but
So I
still,
love Blumhouse so bad,
Mhm.
so terrible. But yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I've never
Yeah.
really seen where if you get pushed, like when we were at MSP,
Mhm.
Danny was groped. I
Oh,
think she
wow.
was with Brandy.
Really?
Yeah, everybody with Brandy is always getting it's like doesn't
I told
want.
you
Stay
she's a
away from
magnet.
Brandy.
Yeah,
It's like
you
poor
go
man.
now.
Yeah, it's like, but you know the online. I was just telling him, Brandy, when you were with in D3, you know, Danny had gotten groped. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this shit always
Yeah.
happens around Brandy.
Brandy
so-
is the cause.
Yeah, we saw her,
There's
you know,
something.
yeah,
There's
you got,
something.
like, you're a dead magnet or something. I don't know.
Again,
Something.
But yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think that I mean the groping could just be like, you know, reaching out or
I don't know
maybe
though.
they
Look
don't
at the
have it.
location, and they don't have very many women in that location.
That's right. D3 was right. That's almost death row is like in the
Right.
same building.
So I could see where they could do that to her
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
location.
Well, and then, you know, I was talking to the ladies that work there, and I was actually in the spot where they kept the criminally insane.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's where we all were. So
Yeah.
it happened to her. I can say that it happened to her.
Yeah, she was
Yeah,
freaked
and
out.
everybody tune in tomorrow night because we're going to talk about the crawler that Brandy
Yeah.
and several others saw
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow
Yeah, I'm
night.
tuning in just so I can see y'all's evidence. I've been waiting for this for like a few days now. All right.
It was very difficult for me to catch any evidence, honestly, because I was down there and talking most of the time,
Mhm.
and everything was happening, and I was just in awe of everything that was happening. So I didn't get a whole lot of evidence, but I did get some.
Yeah.
I did
think-
get some.
How many
Yeah.
people saw it too, besides you? Because it wasn't just you that saw it. I know Jay said that he saw it, and
Mhm.
Kevin said that he saw it. I don't know. Did anybody else besides you three?
17 people.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go.
Huge. I mean, we had a great weekend.
Mhm.
Last night I watched Miguel's Emmaus documentary.
Mhm. We rocked it there, didn't we?
I don't know what's making them noises, guys, but it doesn't sound human.
It doesn't sound right.
Are we bringing you over to the cryptid side a little bit, Frankie?
Well, my thing is, if I can't explain it, I mean, like, I'm gonna have to lean on the experts at that point, right? Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know, it didn't sound like anything that Bobcat has 4 sounds. It didn't sound anything like that.
No.
Yeah, no.
It
sound
the
like
closest
food.
thing that one of those sounds like is a rooster, but this is the middle of the night that they're catching this. But it sounds like a rooster, but there's something off. There's
It's like a mimic.
something off.
Yeah, it definitely
It's
wasn't a
somebody
rooster.
trying to do a rooster.
Yeah,
So
and that
it's
night,
like-
what we captured with Terry, Brandy, that is definitely not a freaking rooster.
That is not a rooster, but what
So-
you know, but about that recording caught, it's almost like a mimic. You know, it's close, but not close enough.
Mhm.
So essentially, you got Hey from Moana out there doing his own thing, right?
Mhm, there you go.
Apparently,
This
And when-
comment, this
and when-
commenting is awesome over here, by the way. They're talking about like Butterfinger ice cream.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We were also
I
talking
know
about
we get sidetracked from the chat.
combo
We
fried
do.
rice.
We do.
Yeah.
We get sidetracked from because they got better stuff going on than we do.
Well, Amanda's getting Chinese food, so I wanted a combo fried rice. I mean, come on.
Oh
now.
yeah.
Right.
That's my
Thank
thing.
you, Amy.
Yes, thank you. And
We call it
Amy
special
is
fried
coming
rice.
to our conference, so look
wonderful.
forward to seeing you, Amy, for sure.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, Freaky Geek. I do. I still have haunted cars. They'll be at the Crossing Realms. If you want to come see
You're
them.
bringing it with you. Yeah.
We'll
Yep.
give some. Me and Jeremy were talking about. We're actually putting an LSX in the Chevelle this weekend, so I might not be at Arcadia. Dan might murder me. But yeah, I mean, that's gonna be there, and then we might be able to give people some rides into, so like drive them around and stuff a little bit.
Yeah, you
Cool.
could raffle them off.
Just so they know, like, we're probably gonna smell gasoline out there. Yeah.
What year, Chevelle?
I have a '69
And you're dropping an LSX in it?
LSX. I had a 383 and I just sold it, and we were just having so many problems just trying to get the thing going, and finally I just buckled down and I was like, You know what?
Yeah.
Let's just put the fucking engine. I'm done. We're putting the engine in it. I'm over this.
Hey,
So I got a brand new.
That's a whole other show. We will have a whole other show talking nothing about cars. Okay.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, so that'll be there, and then we'll show you. Yeah, we could definitely talk haunted cars.
I'm not even worried about haunted. I'm just worried about cars.
Yeah.
Well, you need to watch. You need to subscribe to Shift Films and Haunted Garage and all of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do some podcasts. We have some new stuff coming out next month. We're just trying to reel in drama. But Krista's been kind of my spirit guide through all this. It's just like, dude, what did we say that was so wrong? We didn't like that a convict was taken to.
Dadgummit, you weren't thinking the way everybody else was, or that
we're
one
not allowed
person
to have our own opinions. God,
that one person in chat didn't like what you said. Imagine that.
Yeah. Well, the people that were screwed out of money from that team really appreciate us.
Yeah.
So somebody finally said it. Somebody finally had the balls to say it. And you know what?
Yeah.
It was Dan. I was talking about wood dogs, which are deers. Did you guys watch the episode?
Mm-hmm. I did. I watched it today.
I'll tell you about the deer that just looked me down and just jumped no problem. Just cleared my fence, staring at me like, watch this, bitch. What now? It was whoa, you're a demon. And then Bigfoot ate it. But which would have been.
And there's our friends, Hellbent Holler, they're in chat. They've also been victims in this little ordeal.
Drama segment that we're having. But anyway, on with the other stuff.
I love that name, by the way. Hellbent Holler is awesome.
Their channel is awesome, Frankie. You need to subscribe to it. They rock, man.
All right. I'm going to tell you right now. Where I work at, working in the warehouse I work at, I turn on YouTube and I leave on either Hellbent Holler throughout the day or I'll leave on Small Town Monsters. One of the two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Put them up and just let them roll while I'm out doing stuff because it's just nothing but a little documentary going behind me, So when I listen to them, I'm like, wait, I got to turn on. What they finally get?
Yep.
I had to stop what I'm doing. Yeah.
I have to rewind that. Hang on. Let me look.
And that's what I do. And my boss will turn around and look at me. What'd you find? I said, come look at this.
Look what they found.
And if it's anything Bigfoot related, he comes running.
Sorry, guys.
Yep.
Every time I go to my YouTube page, we need 2 subscribers to hit 700. Today blew up too. I think people were getting what happened? And they started subscribe. I guess they like the podcast. They subscribed. Kind of backfired on the drama. We actually gained
it's that old saying,
So
no publicity is bad publicity.
It's the truth, man.
Yeah. It's just so sad that people have got to resort to stuff like that, and it's just you're wondering how that these people get involved in the community and succeed to do it when they shouldn't.
She is amazing. This chick is amazing. From Hellbent. I watched her.
So it's Joe and Jesse. And they're friends of ours. Yes, they're awesome. They are out in the woods
all the time.
All the time.
They are friends of ours, and they have been having the same issues that we've been having. Same person.
I had by that same weirdo that's calling people bad German names.
Yeah.
Hey, Frankie, you said you were getting ready. You were close to 700, right? You said 2 away from 700. Yes. Well, I know Lolo's out there. She said that she'll subscribe.
Let me. I'll find your link and I'll
find that link.
I'll drop on
get it out there for him.
Hold on.
You'll have that by the end of the night.
That's Haunted Souls Paranormal. So I watched. I think it was. I want to say it was BMR had him on.
We had to.
Or y'all had him too. I don't know. I was so captivated. He's first of all, he's a phenomenal speaker. Just a great, like you were saying, he's very methodic, the way he talks, and they're so researched, and you can tell that they actually do it. It's because there's so many podcasts that get so many views, and they don't actually do it. They use your stories, our adventures, our interactions, and then tell their stories. Don't get me wrong, I love Mr. Ballin, but Mr. Ballin's never been in this situation that we've been in,
Right.
Yeah. He's got some good stories though.
He's great. I love him to death. I love him. I love Aaron Menke. There's some great storytellers out there, but then there's the people like us that are the adventurers, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we get eaten by Dogman, we're in a podcast. Hey, we made it, guys. We made it.
See you on the flip side, everyone. But there's your truth right there.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep,
looks like
I did
looks
just
like the
drop.
ones that said it-
I did
Yeah,
just
some
drop
were
your
already
link
subbed.
in chat, so
Yeah.
I dropped your link in chat. So hopefully you can get to 700. If you guys would go subscribe to Haunted Souls. They're part of
Very
Brandi and I. We're part of their team, and you know they're our paranormal family. So anyway, we'd appreciate the love that you guys give us,
yeah.
give them.
We are a bit colorful in our
Yeah,
content.
and you can come to Haunted Souls events
Yes.
and go ghost hunting with me.
Well, I can't.
Yes, you can.
Well, you're in Texas, right?
Yes,
Are you close to the Hill House?
I'm
Yes.
right down the road from it.
Yes.
So we're thinking about giving them a call because what our episode was last night was about haunted places, and it was supposed to be about MSP, and then it derailed into guess who's back and all this stuff, and then all the drama happened. But we
Kinda
were
like what we're doing tonight.
we're getting to the haunted Hill House because we had some really, really good friends that we've never met them, but they've just been so kind.
Yeah.
And they're mostly from Oklahoma, and they got into some weird drama down there with one of them got banned from haunted Hill House, which made no sense. Because she really didn't have anything to do with it, but we were going to call them and just be like, hey, we'd love to do an event, kind of open it up next year. And
well, I'll tell you this in advance. Normally, when it comes to doing live broadcasts from there, they don't let it happen because they have everything set up and they have to go through the city it's in has ordinances and they have to be, if you do certain things like any kind of monetization or filming or whatever, then you're getting into city, jumping in and say, hey, you got to have a permit for that. Hey, you got to have a permit for that. Or, I mean, don't get me wrong. People like when the Jack Osborne thing hit for Portals to Hell, that one hit, they were months in advance, obviously, before they even got to it.
Sure.
But they've had people go in there and try to do live. Now we did, even when me and Tex and the others did it, we did did do a live real quick, but I don't think it was having an issue at that time. This was 2 years ago now. I guess it's been 2 years ago, hasn't it?
Been 3.
Brandi did it.
Ours is 3 and you're 2, right?
Yes, because I did it from there, and they even said, hey, check them out. So, I mean, but I fell in love with that place just because it's weird. It is definitely.
And they let you do it. Yeah, talk to Sonny and Kat. That's all you do is talk to them and find out. So,
the only problem
they're
I
the
would
nicest
think,
people in the world.
is it might not be big enough to do an
Maybe
event.
we just do it as a team.
Yeah.
It'd be easier than going to an event.
Yeah, we can go as a team because the place is not huge, but it will support a team.
Yeah, you can get 10 people in there. Usually they cap it at 10.
Yeah.
That's perfect. I mean, I've just been watching like stories on it, and so we were at MSP last weekend, and I've been there twice now. I've actually, because I'm always working, like I'm doing stuff, I'm downloading footage, I'm trying to put stuff together, I'm running my media team, making sure they're getting the captures and the footage. So I'm not really investigating anymore. And so Dan's like, well, why don't you go out with Jeremy and clear, D3 where you guys were? No, women's prison.
I was in the women's prison.
Yes, you were in a women's prison. He's like, just go over there and you guys just clear that. That way you get a little investigating time. So we found a couple. They were basically wrapping up their investigation. I'm like, hey guys, like we got to be in the lobby because they wanted us out by like 3:15 because we started early or something. I don't know. So I'm like, really? We told everybody 4, but like we started early. So I don't know. Their rules are their rules. We love Sheila. We just follow the rules. Jenny, we love them. So we just follow the rules. And so I'm going out, I'm clearing the building with Jeremy, and Jeremy's, you know how Jeremy walks. He's like all fast paced, like, oh, there's gonna be something here because now it's everything's stirred up. I'm like, okay, Jeremy, let's just get through this. We have the long drive home and it's dark. And so we see the one couple, we tell them to head out. We turn the corner and we're going up. So if you haven't been to MSP, it's kind of all the cells are kind of shaped like a flag is the best way to do it. It's like a big rectangle. It goes straight up. There's one staircase on the one side. So if you're facing it, it's on the left side. You cannot get down on the right side unless you jump, which you don't really want to do. As you get higher, the bars get higher. So, people couldn't be thrown off, and it was a safety precautionary thing. So we're making our rounds, and I'm like, man, there's somebody way the hell up there. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, so he peeks up, and he sees a flashlight. And we hear talking and murmuring. I'm like, all right, so now we got to do all these stairs. So we go up the
You got to
stairs.
go back up.
So I was like, at the same time, he's looking for a swastika. He's like, I know there's a swastika on a wall. And I'm like, let's just get to these people because we have to get out of here. We get up the first floor, go to the second floor, third floor, right? And we turn the third floor, heading up the stairs. We could hear them. You can hear like EVPs or they're trying to do, so they're whispering. So I'm like, oh, they're probably doing like an EVP session. So let's be quiet. So we get to the fourth floor, me and Jeremy. We turn the corner. Nobody's there. And I turn like white as a ghost. I'm like, I literally just saw a flashlight. We peeked our heads. We saw the light. We heard the whispering, walked up there. And I was like, see, this is why, like, what? And then we left. And then Dan's like, see, you had an experience. That's an experience.
So Frankie, was it a woman's voice?
Yes. It was like two women doing an EVP session.
So, okay. I was up there for the whole night doing the dowsing rods and the pendulum. And Carmen was taking the groups down. I was waiting up there to hold the flashlight because, you know, all the steps that are up there, you know, telling people watch your step, whatever. So I was up there by myself. I had walked the last person out the door, and I came back and I heard a woman say, hello, just as friendly and as plain as day. So that was my experience from there. So that was kind of cool. And it was definitely a woman's voice. However, Kevin said, though, that used to be part of ITC. And ITC, I guess, is where I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's like if you do good, you know, you get more privileges type thing, you know, also in there. So anyway, it was just pretty interesting.
Wow.
Okay. I got a question real quick because I know you had that one up from Hellbent Holler a minute ago. I gotta respond to this one. I'm glad you like the paranormal investigators versus the run-of-the-mill Bigfoot investigators, but Bigfoot and those guys, y'all get to go out into the woods and sit around. Well, I'm sorry. When I go out into the woods and do it, I sit around a campfire, drink beer, and play my guitar and have a good old time. I go camping.
How you do
and
it?
wait. That's all. That's as structured as I get on that one.
Yeah, that's a good comment too. Like, yeah, I see that too. But like when you're around, so I spent a little time with Miguel, but then when I watched the documentary, you want to talk about process. Like he has a process.
Yeah.
And that's impressive to me because there's not an ounce of skepticism with him. No. Like if there's nothing there, there's nothing there. Right? He's like kind of a no BS type of guy. And his process was very intriguing. Like just keep the camera rolling. Why is my battery dying? You know, and he's dealing with the outer elements of Emmaus. You're dealing with, you know, Dogman, you're dealing with Bigfoot. Simultaneously, you're dealing with the haunted residence right there. And so it is a paramecca. But I think that last time I was listening to Hellbent, they were on the show, and I think they were in New Orleans, is what I want to say. Yeah. And they had done some stuff in New Orleans. I want to say they were near New Orleans, or they're from New Orleans, or something. New Orleans came up.
They're from New Orleans.
Okay, that's what it is. And I was like, well, New Orleans for me is like everything's haunted. It's like impossible to not. You know what I'm saying? You can investigate
everywhere.
A sewer, and it's haunted.
Yes.
But we stepped out. We did something this is the last one I'll go. I owe a cigar to me and my wife are smoking cigars tonight. So I figured, but I have a hard stop at like 8:35. I promised her. But I will tell you that I did something that everybody should do if they ever get down, and they probably know because they're from there. But yeah, there's a self-service graveyard. It's insane.
What?
It's insane. It is probably one of the most creepiest, curious, morbidly curious thing that I've probably ever done. But you can literally self-service is like $50. You dig a plot, you can throw the body in there and then dig and then just basically cover it up. It's like a potter's field.
That's
okay.
Like, when you walk
the shallow
down,
grave thing, right?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and you walk into this like tomb type setting and there's like wood over just buried graves and like metal. It is so but like the energy in there, it will suck you dry. It's like I had to leave after 10 minutes. I'm like, this is rough. Like I have never, because NOAA is like no other place in the world. I will say that. If you haven't been, you have to go at least once. It just so much culture, so much rich culture. Yeah. There's crime. There's crime everywhere. Get used to it.
Yeah,
Welcome to America.
exactly.
Just don't do stupid things. Don't be out at 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, that's when all the stuff happens, right? Like, people are like, "Well, I was on Bourbon Street at 4 in the morning. Oh, wonder why you got mugged." It's like,
Vampires come and get them.
that's right.
Witching
And
hour.
that's the thing, like the vampire thing is like this movie Sinners, man. We're watching Friday. I'm so excited. I haven't watched the trailer.
I've heard nothing but good things about
I
it.
know it's now the 5th leading vampire horror movie, grossing film of all time, all black cast, like everything hit all the boxes, not from a bureaucracy standpoint, from a meritocracy of people really doing great film. And that's my background, and I'm just so excited for this film.
Anything with Michael B. Jordan too. So honestly,
I know he's great. So that's my one little story I wanted to tell you about New Orleans. If you are there, you should definitely check out that haunt, and you should check out the Andrew Jackson Hotel.
Well, I have a question though. With the self-service graveyard, do you have to have like any type of paperwork? Asking for a friend.
Well, we know where Chris is going to be buried. I was about to put Dan in that damn grave today. I'm like, this wasn't even in my show. Like, I don't even know what GHU is. Like, it's $50, and there's like a sign-in form. Like, yes.
Well, see, no, I don't want to leave a signature either. So okay,
it's like $5 to get it. It's just so weird because it's like, what? Did I really have to pay $5? And then I don't know. I don't know the full details. I just know that like we were there and it was like really creepy. And my friend I was with was not about it. She does not like. She likes to drink and eat, and she doesn't like the spooky stuff.
Gotcha.
But yeah. So
like, don't go to New Orleans then. Just don't.
You guys are doing the Emmaus thing. I would definitely check out Emmaus if you're in the area. It's one of our most active spots. We'll be at Arcadia this weekend. Brandi, are you coming to that?
I'm gonna definitely try. Yes, if all things work out, which I'll talk to you later about. I'll send you a message. Yeah, I think so.
And we do have the penthouse if you guys do need to stay. I know, Krista, you're out this weekend.
I'm out this weekend.
But yeah, if you guys needed to come out, just let me know. And then, Brandi, anytime you're in town, man, you're welcome to all the locations we get into.
Oh, trust me. I did ANOC and stuff up at Leonardwood, so when we started talking about Centralia, up there because we had to go up there and do presentations up there. Yeah. And I had my whole report was on nothing but Bloody Bill Anderson, so I'm like, oh, we're going to have fun with this. And then I told Krista, like, hey, I heard I could hear the horse hoofs when we were out on the battleground.
Well, that's okay, Randy. Just plan a vacation with the girls and bring them on.
Yeah. Now, my daughters, they're going to be on me like white on rice when it comes to this stuff, okay?
And
there we go.
I just was in Leavenworth, and that's a fun little first city, man. Like, that's really, really cool. So there is some things to do that's not paranormal. But
yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's just right there in KCK. I mean, you're 30 minutes from Kansas City, which Kansas City is doing so many improvements to their city. Yeah. It's amazing, like what they've done.
You want to go out in the boonies, you can go all the way out to Raleigh as far as Kansas side. But Leonardwood, we didn't call that Fort Lost in the Wood for nothing. So
Fort Leonard Wood, it's still going strong down there.
Yeah.
Oh, it will. It always will.
Still lost in the woods. Yeah.
Still lost in the woods, but some good fishing. I'll give them that. So.
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, thank you for having me on, guys. I do have to stop
the
cigar date, but appreciate you guys. I just needed to talk tonight. Like, dude, I just need to get off Facebook. Well,
you're good.
You need to talk a little.
Anytime.
Yep.
Appreciate you guys. Take care.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Well,
that was fun.
With that being said, look at the time.
Yeah.
Took us right up to quitting time.
Yeah, Tyler, that's my dog hollering in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. And then I've had one here that's been sleeping and he's been snoring. So I was waiting for somebody to say that they heard a demon or something, but nobody did. So.
Well, tune into Blondes and Boos. Right. Turn into Blondes and Boos tomorrow night at 8 p.m. We will have Sir Brian Bowden on tomorrow night. We're going to be talking about them creepy crawler things in the night. I'm not excited about it, but I seen one and we've got to talk about it. So
y'all showing evidence though too, right?
Or I'm going to try and get it together. We're going to get everything together that I got from last weekend and go from there.
Watching.
All right.
Watching and heckling if you don't.
And heckling. Right. I don't know what's going on Friday night yet. Krista will be out of town for the next, 2 weeks, 10 days?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, she is all going on family vacation. How dare she? But yeah, that's what's happening. So I don't know what's going on Friday night, but I will be here. Gosh
I
knows
don't know
what
if
we'll
it's
talk about.
me
We'll
or
find something.
somebody else. is doing it.
Brandy's offered to co-host, and
Yep.
so did BMR also.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
so
We just may do another panel and just talk about stuff. You never know. So make sure you tune in on Friday at 7 p.m. Central. And don't forget about BMR. He is on Saturday nights at 10 p.m. Central with Into the Bizarre. And Truth or Tinfoils on Sundays at 5 p.m. Central. So check all them shows out, and we'll see everybody tomorrow night.
Yep. See y'all tomorrow.
Bye, guys.